classrooms and doing some reading to third graders about some civic, reading some civic books, and then some other opportunities we're talking about. So just wanted to kind of keep you abreast of what's going on. We're very excited about it, and we hope that everyone will take advantage of coming on down for the tours and getting involved in the scavenger hunt. I'm going to switch hats for just a moment. I'm also a member of the Live Oak Artists Guild, and I am the chair for the 27th Annual Fine Arts Exhibition that is now open at the Live Oak Library. We had 67 entrants, and I don't know if you know it, but we have some internationally recognized award-winning artists here in little old Live Oak and Suwannee County. So hope that you will come on out and check out some of the art. Maybe submit one next year. It's never too late to start. And thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you.
All right, thank you. All right, Miss Anita. I'm sorry, Miss Anita. I'm trying to figure out where that noise is coming from. Miss Shanae Wilson. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
Hello, my name is Shanae Wilson, and I am here in regards to agenda item 5A. Naming City Hall after a Live Oak legend. Some people may say that a prominent building like City Hall ought to be named after an influential figure, a public servant, a soldier, an officer, or even a community activist. Well, today I propose that the historic Live Oak City Hall building be named after Live Oak's very own leader that embodies all of these titles. John W. Yulee Sr. developed a passion for serving the community, which he regarded as an extension of his family in his youth. On the international front, John joined the United States Army to serve his country and fellow citizens during the Vietnam era, one of the most notable wartimes in American history. His experience in the Army included being a specialist in the Distinguished 1st Infantry Division. John continued to serve his country in becoming a mail handler, letter carrier, and eventually an acting supervisor for the United States Postal Service. During his tenure, he contributed to an essential method of transporting important information and other items across the city, state, and nation. In an effort to have an even greater impact on the statewide community, John completed the Police Department Institute in Miami, Florida. Among the most honorable facts about JW is that he could have stayed in one of the foremost robust and exciting cities in the nation. Instead, he chose to bring his God-given gifts and carefully cultivated talents back to his hometown. In Live Oak, John contributed to his law enforcement career with the Live Oak Police Department and Suwannee County Sheriff Department. As a deputy sheriff, John completed patrol shifts and security detail on countless occasions to ensure Suwannee County is a safer place to live and visit. This was a dream come true to the former junior deputy sheriff in high school. Moreover, as the city councilman for District 1 from 1998 to 2007 and from 2010 to 2018, he assisted numerous community members and guided them on a route to a better future. He remarkably represented the vision of local citizens and was a deciding vote for the development of the Heritage Parks and Garden, which he believed had the potential to provide a beautiful event space for residents and draw tourism interest into his hometown. To increase citizens' environmental health and city sanitation standards, John worked on a board with additional councilmen to valiantly secure a $5 million grant to upgrade Live Oak's water and sewer plant. Empowered by his faith in God, John introduced In God We Trust to the city's new seal. Finally, and perhaps the most relevant Councilman Yulee led the citizens of Live Oak in a charge to save the historic City Hall building, built in 1908 on Ohio Street, from being demolished and reduced to a parking lot. John W. Yulee Sr. was passionate about his family and a dynamic leader who enjoyed a multitude of community-oriented careers around the state of Florida, but most notably in Live Oak. For these reasons, and many others, please accept our request to name the old City Hall the John W. Yulee Sr. building in honor of a hometown hero who dedicated tens of thousands of hours to the community he cared for so deeply.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I think for that, we get into the public comment section. We're going to move on to item number 4. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did want to announce that there will be a 9/11 ceremony at the fire station this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. The chief is over here, so if you get there a few minutes early, if you'd like to come out, we will have a brief ceremony.
You said 8 a.m., I'm sorry.
It's 8:30. So either a few minutes early, they'll get started exactly at 8:30. So
You said Thursday?
that's Thursday, yes, that's the 11th. Also, just echo what Ms. Allen said, we're wanting to participate in the Florida City Week and let the state, Florida League of Cities know we're here and just reaching out into our community, do some things. And so I think this is our first one. We'll get to find out how it looks and works this year. And hopefully this will be a tradition we'll continue. Also, we had Lowe's reach out to us. They wanted to do a project in our city, and I know Mr. Campbell is, and I know in the past others have talked about the roundabout, but you had contacted me at one time about trying to do something with the roundabout. They have offered their assistance and I'm assuming some plants and things to spiff it up a little bit. So we're going to be meeting with them and we'll have some type of a plan for roundabout.
Not to steal thunder too, but make sure we go through Mr. JL too, because that's a DOT.
Yes, it is.
Run area that we have to get permission before we put anything in there.
Mr. JL will be at the meeting next week. He's already been notified, so we got him on the list. And of course, I just want to echo what they said about Mr. Yulee here today. I did have the privilege and honor to speak at his funeral. He was a fine gentleman. I sat right here beside him. He was kind of a mentor to me. He probably didn't realize that, but I watched him and listened to him. And I said that the funeral, that if Mr. Yulee was for something that indicated to me, I voted right. So he was a good man, and I appreciate his service to our community.
Mr. Mayor, let me ask Mr. Mayor one question. Concerning the roundabout and the flowers with Lowe's partnership,
Yes, sir.
who will be maintaining? The city will maintain those flowers, or?
I'm sure we will, but we'll work all out those details, and as far as DOT and involvement, and all, we'll make sure it conforms to their rules or laws or what. Yes, I would say our guys will do it. Correct, Jim? Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Moving on to item 5A, and before I pass the torch over to Ms. Owens, I think it'd probably be a good time to allow Mr. Kennan to kind of, if you would, please just discuss just briefly about how this process has to go legally so that we do this, or if we do this, I should say that we do it the right way and not kind of do something for naught here.
Yeah, John will have to help me because of scheduling issues. I did not get to review the current ordinance that sets out the requirements for naming of streets and buildings. But it's my understanding that an ordinance will be required, which requires a first and second reading, as we're all familiar with. And so tonight, it just being a discussion item and not an action item, it could not be an action item because of the requirement for the ordinance. But if it ends up being the pleasure of the council, an appropriate ordinance can be drafted and placed on the appropriate agenda. And then, like you say, there'll be 2 public hearings, 2 readings, the second being the final vote on the issue.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Owens.
I was approached by Miss Cassandra, and I did some research on this, and there is an ordinance in place, and that I think would probably, I don't know whether it had to be changed, what has to be done with it before.
Well, if the ordinance sets out criteria,
It does.
then that would be the criteria that would be analyzed and discussed by the council. So it would not be a changing of this ordinance.
Just-
It would be
just
following the
following
procedure
that.
set forth in this ordinance.
So that's, you all know the rest of it. Y'all all said what you think about the things that he's done, and so we're aware.
Could there be a question? And that question would be understand the idea of
Right now,
Hey, we're gonna pass.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I guess basically tonight then we need to decide if we want to go ahead forward with asking, I guess I'm saying this right, asking if the council so chooses, if it's the pleasure of the council to have staff draft an ordinance.
Yeah, and we don't need a vote if it's the consensus of the council for me to draft an ordinance to put on the agendas for first and second reading, then that's what I would do. Referencing the procedures in ordinance number 1322.
So I guess what we can do is, it won't be technically a roll call, but it would be, to get consensus, we've got to hear from each and every one of us. So I don't mind starting, so instead of putting Mr. Alford always on the spot, I always put him on the spot first. But yeah, so I didn't ever really have the pleasure of personally knowing Miss Yulee, but I did have the privilege of working with Miss Yulee at the school. You know, and I also was in the National Guard with your boys. So yeah, so his legacy lives on through them, and I have the utmost respect for Miss Yulee. She always treated me fair, and hopefully I gave you the same respect back. So I have absolutely no hesitation in saying that I would be in favor of moving forward with the naming of a building, if it would be the, you know, obviously we have 4 other council people here, but I would be in favor of doing so, yes.
May I say something as well? I knew John, been knowing John for a while, and his lovely wife. I think he and his wife and I are from the same hometown, Brooks County, Georgia, Quitman, Georgia. And this legacy and all these things have been said concerning what he has done. We also can remember that there's John L. Park that was named by John Sr., Mr. Hill Sr., who was a city council person. And but one of my biggest regret was that awful day that it happened. I did not take a look to my left to see if he had left from Dallas, as we do Dallas's together. But I think this would be a tremendous thing and a great honor that we honor someone who has done so much for the city, saving the building, put forth all those efforts, serve this country, come back home, and wanted to do the same thing, serve in his community. So I'm in total agreement with what we are going to plan on doing.
My vote's yes.
I didn't know Mr. Yulee, but he seems like he's done a lot of stuff, and his testimony spoke volumes about who he was, and I vote yes.
So I'll move forward with drafting an ordinance fashioned after 1322 to be reviewed and approved by staff and moved on the appropriate agenda.
So I'm sorry? Yeah, and each one of the readings, that's a good point, Mr. Mayor. Each one of the readings of the ordinance, which will need to be 2, correct?
Correct.
And each one of those will have a public hearing as well, and that time will be opened up for all who have an opinion to voice on that. That will be on the, I would assume, I'm gonna assume the next, what is this, October and probably November?
That will be my goal.
Right, yes, sir, all right. All right, any further questions or any discussion, Ms. Owens, or? Okay, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Sessions, your floor, sir.
All right, we're going to go through the items on the list here. We're starting with Resolution 2025-33.
Resolution number 2025-33, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, declaring certain personal property owned by the city to be either surplus to its needs and sold at a publicly noticed sale, or determined to be obsolete, non-serviceable, or beyond economic repair and appropriately discarded, providing for the authorization to remove such surplus property when sold or disposed of from the fixed assets of the city, and providing for an effective date.
All right, you've heard resolution read. What will be the pleasure of the council?
I'll make a motion for resolution 2025-33.
Second.
We have a motion and a second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. All right, so resolution 2025-33 is approved. Moving on to item B, sir.
City Council Resolution number 2025-34, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, accepting a bid from the D&D Heavy Equipment, Inc. related to the Heritage Square potable water tap project, providing for the award and execution of a contract, and providing for an effective date. And for those in attendance remembering the last CRA meeting, this is one that was a CRA project, but because the way the bid was put out, it was put out in the name of the city of Live Oak. So the city council will have to approve it, and then it will be reimbursed through the CRA funds. So that this is circling back to that project we discussed at CRA.
All right, you've heard the resolution read into record. What will be the pleasure of the council?
Council President, I also motion that we accept resolution number 2025-34.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution 2025-34 is approved. Item C.
City Council Resolution number 2025-35, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, adopting a revised uniform classification and pay plan schedule, repealing all resolutions in conflict, providing severability, and providing for an effective date.
You've heard the resolution read into record. Will be the pleasure of the council?
Make a motion for resolution 2025-35.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, with those salaries, do we have anyone at the top of those salaries at this point?
Well, I'd have to ask Ms. Joanne, but I don't think we do, but I'm not sure.
At the
Ms. Joanne,
maximum?
do you have an answer for that?
I can
Ms.
look.
Joanne, if you're going to be on record, you'll come to the,
I'm sorry.
Darn. Yeah. Joanne Luther, Finance Director, good evening. Actually, I have not checked yet, and so I can check and let you know at the next meeting the answer to that, or we can send out an email and let you know. I had checked the last time we did a COLA, and there were some that were close, but nobody, at that time going over, so it's not that big a change, but it could. So I'll take a look, and I can either let you know at the special call meeting, or I can send out an email.
If there is, does this affect our budget that we're working on now?
This is because of what is in the budget. The 3% COLA is in the budget that passed for the first reading yesterday. So that's why this pay scale needs to be aligned with those budgeted dollars. But if somebody were to reach the cap, it's really not, it's all calculated in that budget, but for somebody reaching the cap and not getting over the cap, that's not going to make a difference truly on the budget. You know, it's not gonna be that big a difference in the budget. But this does go with the budget.
Okay, so that's in line.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Joanne,
Yes.
one thing, maybe I overlooked it. I didn't see council's salary or anything.
The council's ordinance
Uh-huh.
says that the city council, all elected officials, will receive the same COLA as the employees. So that way, if there isn't the need for a separate ordinance or resolution for the COLAs. And then this year, you've passed Mr. Gill to have something different.
It's COLA 2.5 or 3.0?
3.0.
Okay, this week.